In the midst of a ransacked grassy field, fallen trees, and broken branches, we understood without a word. The wild buffalo had arrived. Massive, aggressive males, seemingly driven out of the deep forest, were now approaching the village. Armed with rifles, knives, and unwavering resolve, we made our way to the high cliff overlooking the only trail. Silence reigned. No buffalo could pass. The village's peace was something we could not afford to lose. The battle had begun. Come along with us. Wild buffalo aren't cunning, but they have an unyielding instinct, heading to grazing fields at dawn and returning along the same path in the evening. They move neither fast nor slow, just steadily, as if there's nothing in the world that could make them hurry. I had been waiting there already at a high ground, with the wind at my back. When the massive shadow appeared through the grass, I didn't hesitate. Boom. One shot. It fell, heavy as a tree felled in its prime. Hunting buffalo isn't about brute strength. It's a battle of wits between the toughest and the tougher. At midday, the fields were dry, the wind still. We crouched by the bushes where the buffalo often took refuge from the sun. I adjusted the scope. The CZ550 wasn't heavy, but it felt just right in my hands. When the buffalo revealed itself from the grass, its head turning into the wind, I took the shot. It wasn't luck, it was skill, alertness, and just the right amount of coldness when the moment came. The peace didn't last long before a shadow emerged from the low bushes, heavy steps approaching straight towards our position. I raised my rifle, aimed carefully, and with two sharp, decisive shots, the target dropped immediately in the middle of the grass. Despite the constant danger, we stood firm. Every inch of land here was home, and protecting it against the savage beasts was a vow ingrained in us. No luck, no showboating, just solid technique and a steely determination to not falter. If you think this move was impressive, hit that like button. After hours of waiting, the team had just laid down for a quick rest when a signal came. The buffalo was circling near the low bushes. We moved quickly to our prearranged position, each step silent, no unnecessary noise. The buffalo appeared farther out, its shadow looming large among the grass. I took a careful aim, held my breath, and waited for the perfect moment. Boom! The bullet found its mark on the first try. Clean, efficient, no extra, no less. That shot was the result of thousands of hours of practice, absolute focus, and a heart that never wavered. Under the blazing sun, the air thick with heat, the team received word that the lead buffalo had appeared. Immediately, we took our positions to block both ends, prepared for this moment. As it stepped out of the brush, David took aim and fired. The shot echoed across the field, and the giant fell without a sound. Success doesn't come from luck. It's the result of thorough preparation, strict discipline, and unwavering courage. Every step taken was about safeguarding this land, protecting our livelihoods, and honoring our duty to the homeland. As evening drew near, just when we thought the hunt had ended, we spotted a large black buffalo emerging from the dense bushes. Its heavy footsteps grew louder. 2 quick shots rang out, swift and resolute. The beast collapsed right where it stood, bringing an end to the tense pursuit. The land cruiser, now burdened with our hard-won prize, rolled back home, and within each of us rose a quiet sense of satisfaction. We were willing to sacrifice fatigue and danger just to protect the fields and bring peace to the villagers. Hit follow and join us again on our journey tomorrow. Before dawn breaks, the village of Alberobello awakens to distant echoes. The sound of a helicopter slicing through the thin mist, preparing to land at the forest's edge. Below, the farmland lies torn, footprints from the sly wild boars still imprinted, more than 2 hectares ravaged overnight. They not only destroy crops, but they also test human endurance. Today, we will not merely observe from above. We will end this prolonged campaign. Peace in Alberobello must begin again, right here. The hunt begins just as dawn breaks. We approach the ravaged meadow and spot a herd of wild boars fleeing. Mark gives a concise signal over the radio. 2 guns fire simultaneously, muted, crisp, precise. The lead boar is controlled by a pinpoint shot, collapsing after a few staggering steps. The herd panics and retreats toward the forest. The team decides against pursuing. The opening strike spoke for itself. Our journey begins with a decisive move, exactly as we intended. We shift direction toward the riverbank area, the main water source for the village's fields. Below, a herd of wild boars tramples over rows of young flower seedlings, soil flying in streaks. I adjust altitude, tilt the helicopter slightly, giving John the shooting angle. John remains silent, eyes fixed on the target. He locks the sight, squeezes the trigger decisively. The first volley strikes 2 at the front, sending the entire herd into disarray. He continues to pivot the gun, changing angles, firing a few more rounds. Each boar falls in turn, unable to resist or inflict further damage. What do you think about our coordination? Leave a comment below if you too felt the pulse of this hunt. Weather shifts, dark clouds roll in. We can't fly as high as before. The helicopter glides low over a not yet harvested field near the village where golden stalks stand waiting. A black boar emerges, head down, rooting the earth for food. Before Mark can signal, John's barrel is already aimed. Bang, precise, crisp. Another target neutralized. The field regains calm. Villagers may rest a bit easier tonight. The overcast light brings steadier optics. We lower altitude. Hold the aircraft stable for John's optimal shot angle. The aerial chase is taut and intense. Every move demands total focus and flawless execution. That's exactly what you've just witnessed in a veteran hunter like John. 3 wild boars fall cleanly, quickly, and precisely under his shots. In mere minutes, the herd is fully subdued. The crops are once again shielded, bringing peace of mind to the farmers. After a short break, we return to the forest margin, where trees alternate with open spaces. This time, a trio of wild boars hides among dry leaves. We start the helicopter engine. The noise drives them toward the clearing, making them easier to aim at. I maintain aircraft stability, adjust flight angle, so John has maximum visibility. Gunshots echo. Each boar falls one by one, cleanly and silently. The hunt continues. More targets are neutralized. Hunting here is not just about protecting crops. It demonstrates our sharp strategy, tight teamwork, and seasoned experience. Night begins to fall. The sun sets behind the trees. On the western edge of the freshly harvested fields, a large herd of wild boars, more than 10 strong, rushes across the bare soil. Ravaging the last remains of the season's crops. We drop lower, maintain shooting angles. Bullets slice through the air. Each one hits its mark with perfect precision. Noble escapes. Every motion was premeditated, leaving no footprint behind. The helicopter glides above the village as dusk falls. Shadows stretch over roofs and quiet fields below. We end today's hunt with deep satisfaction and pride. Victory came from skill, coordination, careful planning, and the trust of the villagers. Chaotic hoofprints etched deep into the dry earth, crushed grass scattered everywhere. We knew instantly a zebra herd had passed through here. But this time, the lead stallion wouldn't be easy to take down. Locals called it the ghost of the savannah. It always knew how to vanish into the morning mist, leaving behind a challenge for anyone daring enough to pursue it. We set out before dawn, driven by determination and a strategy we discussed all night. A hunt like this requires not just strength, but patience and an intimate understanding of your prey. This time, ours was exceptionally clever. Follow us and see how it unfolds. Under the scorching sun, we hid behind an old tree, watching as a herd of zebras grazed peacefully in the open field. They were alert, but hadn't yet sensed our presence. I signaled my partner to stay perfectly still. Every movement had to be calculated. When one of them strayed from the group, I aimed carefully and pulled the trigger. The gunshot cracked through the silence. The zebra fell instantly. The others bolted in panic. Our teamwork came not only from training, but from hundreds of times facing life and death together. Zebras are creatures of strict order, always led by a dominant one, while the rest follow at a measured distance. From the hillside, I studied every movement below. The leader stood out, not just for its size, but for its wariness. It grazed cautiously, scanning every direction. I tightened my grip and squeezed the trigger. A sharp crack echoed. The herd scattered in chaos, while the leader bolted the opposite way. But after a few dozen meters, it staggered and collapsed. For a hunter, victory doesn't come from luck, it comes from a mind that reads its prey. Peace didn't last long. John and I raised our scopes again, eyes locked on the herd. Even from a great distance, the zebras seemed to sense us. The herd froze. Not wasting the moment, I fired. The thunderous blast shattered the stillness. One at the edge of the group was hit. It tried to flee with the others, but fate had already been sealed. Out here in the wild, speed and precision mean everything. For a hunter, sometimes victory is earned in a single heartbeat of calm. From the high ridge, we took aim down into a hollow where the zebras slowly moved in. Clear line of sight, every movement within range. I steadied my breath, adjusted my scope, then squeezed the trigger. The bullet whistled through the air and struck one near the center of the herd. It stumbled, staggered, then darted into the bushes. Instantly, the herd erupted in chaos. Hooves pounding as they fled the area. No need to take them all, this was enough. In a hunt, sometimes all it takes is fear to make the prey never return. Yet moments later, a few more fell in our sights.
Awesome. Did we do another one?
The midday sun blazed across the plains. From the shade of a distant tree, John and I silently tracked every motion. The zebras grazed, unaware of our gaze. I carefully aligned my shot and fired. The sharp crack sliced through the still air. One was hit. It stumbled and darted toward the bushes while the herd broke apart in panic. Under this burning sun, a hunter needs more than just a rifle. He needs clarity and perfect precision. By late afternoon, the sun still blazed, but our hunt wasn't over. From afar, we spotted a herd standing across a dirt path locals often used. The zebras seemed to challenge our patience. Without hesitation, I took aim and fired. Bang! Clean, quick, precise. One fell instantly, sending the rest fleeing into the wilderness. Remember, when facing nature, unless you're a true hunter, never provoke it. Otherwise, you might become the hunted. As we packed up to head home, a lone zebra wandered near the edge of the clearing. It hadn't noticed us, calmly pacing the open ground. Silently, I raised my rifle, matched its rhythm, and fired. A clean, decisive shot. The animal fell without a sound, closing the day's hunt perfectly, right to the final moment. Today, we embark on a challenging hunting journey, one that demands razor-sharp focus and absolute respect for nature. This hunt isn't about thrill or randomness. It's about balance. We're here to help manage the health and population of the wild deer herd, especially by harvesting mature bucks who've reached their prime. It's our responsibility as population stewards to ensure the next generation of deer thrives. Before the sun even crested the horizon, we were already out there, gearing up, laying out plans, and preparing ourselves for today's conquest. Every bullet fired today is a life-or-death battle against the wild deer of this land. Can we come out victorious? Stick around until the end to find out. The terrain today is no joke. Open visibility, but long shooting distances. We had to go prone, pressing into the cold earth, crawling along the hillside to find that perfect shooting angle. Then there he was, the first target, a dominant buck, standing proud with a long, majestic rack. I took aim. No room for error. One mistake and he'd be gone. Boom. The shot was calculated perfectly. The massive animal collapsed instantly, tumbling in one clean roll down the slope. A flawless start, professional hunting at its finest. The hunt pressed on, and the challenges got tougher. We entered rough terrain, dry brush and wild shrubs forming endless hiding spots. My seasoned instincts kicked in. Big game always knows how to hide. Just as I suspected, something moved in the tangle of dry branches. A deer was using the ridge's natural blind to disappear. But you can't hide from trained eyes. No hesitation. The shot rang out, clean, decisive. Another hidden buck down. In hunting, tracking skills matter just as much as marksmanship. Not long after, another deer appeared. With a clear line of sight, I locked on and positioned myself. In hunting, every shot is a promise of respect, and a promise to succeed. Boom. Another clean harvest. No time to rest. Another large buck, separated from the herd, was grazing peacefully in front of us at the perfect range. I aimed confidently. This should be a clean takedown. The first shot hit, but he stumbled, didn't fall. Nearby deer heard the gunshot and bolted, turning the scene into a dust-filled frenzy. The wounded buck vanished into the chaos, but he couldn't escape. I tracked his staggering shadow through the whirlwind. Another shot cut through the stampede and the dust, bringing him down for good. In the end, it's patience and precision that decide who wins in this life and death game. Still no break. we moved slowly into a tall grass field. Always in ready mode. Near the forest edge, another herd was feeding. Target acquired. Finger on the trigger. Boom. The herd scattered in panic. Loud energy bursting in every direction. It was chaos, yet that's where a true hunter thrives. Stay calm in the storm. One by one, we brought them down with precision. As the day neared its end and we returned toward base, we'd already harvested enough. But a real hunter's awareness never drops. Suddenly, a large buck spotted us and bolted, racing across the open field. No time to think, only time to act. I locked in, took the shot, and brought him down before he vanished out of range. The mission was complete. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we stood proud, having fulfilled our duty to manage this ecosystem responsibly.